Good morning, Bulldogs. Today is Wednesday, um, January. I guess it would be. I'm just going to go use second period. Um, Going to my third quarter here. Go to week one. I've changed the vocabulary. Is up here at the top for my class. For those that don't know, here is Wednesday, January 6th. The presidency of Sam Houston. So we just go in here. It's just a straight Google slide. The learning target is I can identify how events and issues during Sam Houston's administration were involved in the formation of the Republic of Texas. So let me just go to presentation mode, see it a little better. Okay, there's Sam Houston right there. Okay, so one thing you got to know is, let me move my face up there. You got Sam Houston under the Constitution of 1836. Remember, there's a bunch of different versions of the Constitution. Under the one of 36, a person cannot be elected for consecutive terms. So unlike how things are done now, if you won, you couldn't win again. So you have Sam Houston winning 1836 to 38, then Maribel Lamar, then Sam Houston again, and then Anson Jones. And then the reason there's no more presidents of the Republic of Texas is we will, at this point in 1845, we're going to become part of the United States. So these are the only four presidents while Texas was its own country. So we'll talk a little bit about Sam Houston. On March 2nd, 1836, American leaders in Texas declared their independence from Mexico and formed the Republic of Texas. On September 5th, 1836, Sam Houston was rewarded for his leadership during the Texas Revolution. He was elected president, and Maribel Lamar was elected vice president. Okay, so each of these, every time a president comes into office, whether it's Joe Biden coming in here in a few weeks or President Trump when he came in 2016, whoever it is, they're going to face some issues. And these issues tend to be problems that need to be solved. Okay, how do you make a government? What about the issues with Mexico? Because remember, they left in a revolution for Mexico, and Mexico's still there. You have conflict with the Native Americans in Mexico. You have the debt. Where's our capital going to be? And then we don't have much of an army in Texas at this time. So those are all different issues. And so what are the different things he's going to have? Well, Sam Houston wanted the capital, making government, where are you going to have the capital? Columbia, Texas was too small. Houston was the capital. At that time, the other problem you had was you had national debt. The debt was $2 million, which, our debt today in the United States is a couple trillion, 3 trillion actually. So it seems very small, but back then it was a lot. They believed in small government in those original guys. What was the conflict with the Native Americans? More Anglo settlers in Central Texas led to more Native American raids. And the Native Americans didn't like that all these Anglos were there. President Houston replaced the Army by creating the Texas Rangers to patrol. But Houston's big thing was he wanted better relations with the Cherokees. He was friendly with them. Houston wanted peace, so he let the Army go and he replaced them with the Texas Rangers. That was his foreign policy. Under his administration, we had these sorts of things. The capital, he wanted it in Houston. He offered cheap land to settlers for his land policy. He wanted small government, meaning he didn't want the government to be too powerful. Annexation, that means did he support going to become part of the United States? He did. Economics, he was a saver because he didn't want too much debt. He wanted peace with the natives and he wanted peace with Mexico. So he was more of a peaceful candidate. He wanted peace. And then so on this one, what you're going to do is you're going to answer these questions. The one issue I feel is most important is, and you can go back to these issues right here, and you can pick one of those. And then here's how he stood on it. And then you just go through, and then we have 4 and 5. You'll read this about Sam Houston, best way to deal with the Indians. And then so you have 7 questions total that you'll deal with. And it's all about Sam Houston. Okay.